feel sorry for you, Joe.
Hey, let me have a turn. Please, Tom.
You don't know what you're asking, Joe.
I give you my glass stopper. Genuine crystal.
It's pretty good, but I don't know.
Just for a couple of legs.
All right, just for a couple. But that's all. Watch you don't slop none.
What'd you give him to do your chores?
What chores?
He's doing your whitewashing, ain't he?
I'm afraid you've got this all turned around. Joe, give me this.
He paid you?
Sure. Look at him having all that fun.
I got 6 marbles.
I done had some, but it's half good.
It's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Now there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly.
Sorry, Brian. It's just not doing it today.
Do the peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball.
Those people in Washington, D.C. they've got to be children of Satan. Because Satan, Lucifer, is the great deceiver, the great liar, and that's all they do in Washington, D.C. is lie. They lie to each other. They lie to their family. They lie to us. They lie to the world. Their promises mean nothing. Also in Washington, D.C. is a building called the Pentagon, which houses the Magi. For the senior ranks of the military, there is made up in that circle of men a secret order founded by George Washington called the Knights of the Golden Circle. Its first chapter was formed among the officers who had served with George Washington during the Revolutionary War. Most of them were also Freemasons. A pentagon, ladies and gentlemen, is but a very thin disguise for a pentagram. That's right, for a pentagram. For a pentagon is made up of the lines drawn from the tips of the points of the pentagram, or the 5-pointed star, to form a pentagram. Within every pentagon is a pentagram. Just in case you weren't aware of that. In the language of the initiates, the pentagram is also known as the Star of Light, when it represents or symbolizes the regenerate man or initiate. The Holy Pentagram, or Star of the Magi, according to Eliphas Levi, the great initiate of France, was known to the French Gnostic school as the Blazing Star, the sign of the intellectual, omnipotent, autocracy, or spiritually enlightened masters known amongst the adepts as the Magi. The Star of the Magi is the Word made flesh, and according to the direction of its rays, this absolute symbol represents good or evil, order or disorder. The saving Lamb of Ormond and St. John are the accursed goat of Mendes. It symbolizes initiation or profanation. It is at once Lucifer or Vesper, the morning or evening star. It is Mary or Lilith, victory or death, light or darkness. When the pentagram elevates two of its points, it, like the reversed triangle, represents Satan or the goat of the mysteries. When it elevates the one point, it is that star of light representing the Savior, goodness, virtue, adoration, reverence. And by Savior, they do not mean Jesus the Christ. They mean the Christ within, the God in man, the intellect that will ultimately make man God. The pentagram is the figure of the human body with its 4 limbs and a single point representing the head. The human figure with the head downward naturally represents a demonic force, intellectual overturning, misuse of the intellect, disorder, and final insanity. In the magic of the Magi, the hidden science of the occultists, it is a veritable law of the 3 worlds. The pentagram is an absolute sign, old as history, and more than history, exercises an incalculable influence over souls. The sign of the pentagram is also called the sign of the macrocosm, and represents what the Kabbalists call microprospos. A complete understanding of the pentagram offers man the key to the 2 worlds. It is the absolute in philosophy and science. The ancient Magi drew the sign of the pentagram on their doorsteps to protect them against evils and to seek the help of all that is good. The G, which ancient Freemasons placed in the center of the blazing star, signified gnosis and generation. It also symbolized the 2 sacred words, at the same time having reference to the grand architect, our universal builder. All the mysteries of the Magi, all the symbols of the gnosis, all the figures of occultism, all the Kabbalistic keys of prophecy are summed up, ladies and gentlemen, in the sign of the pentagram, which was pronounced by Paracelsus the greatest and most potent of all signs. Those who paid little heed to the sign of the cross trembled at the sight of the star of the microcosm. And this was taken from the preface of Nidor Priestess of the Magi, our blazing star, by Dr. J.T. Bettiero, former Supreme Grand Preceptor of the Magi. How about that? I bet that made you stop and think, didn't it? If this is a Christian nation, why is there an obelisk representing the Phallus of Osiris in Washington, D.C.? Why, when you stand in the rotunda of the Capitol building and look straight up at the inside of the dome, do you see a painting of George Washington riding in the chariot, being pulled by the horses across the heavens as Apollo, the god of the sun? And why is it that around this big painting of George Washington in the chariot of Apollo are pictured all the old gods of the Roman pantheon? Mercury, Zeus, all of them, ladies and gentlemen. And why is there a huge pentagon hiding in its structure the greatest occult power known to man, the pentagram? And why are the streets shaped like the compass and the square? And all of the other symbology that exists there. I think you'd better wake up, ladies and gentlemen. For there has always been a secret destiny of America, and it has never been what you have always seemed to think. America has always been headed and directed and guided by the hand of the Illuminati. It was formed for the purpose of giving the common man, for the first time in the history of the world, real freedom. And once that revolutionary effect reverberated around the world, it toppled the kings and queens and princes from their thrones exactly as it was designed to do. And now they are in the process of going about their business of taking that freedom back from the common man and cementing their ties that they have made in the power structure of all the nations of the world to dissolve all the existing religions, all existing nation states, to shackle the mob and bring about their final victory, their utopian socialist world government which